Save as many as you can.
I need to proceed with the presupposition that, for the most part, you're aware of these three key Bible prophecies that you see on the screen that we talk about a lot, and we talk about them a lot because they are today in play. Specifically, not in any particular order here, but Isaiah 17 concerning the destruction of Damascus, Syria, Ezekiel 38 concerning a Russian-Iranian-led alliance that attacks Israel, and Zechariah 12 concerning Jerusalem being the intoxicating obsession of the entire world. Now, why do I zero in on these? Because it seems that it's now on a weekly, and I would even suggest on a daily basis, that we are moving faster than ever toward the fulfillment of these prophecies. Even 5 years ago, I would have never imagined that I would be standing. That's how fast everything is happening.
Thank you. When I came into office, I promised to look at the world's challenges with open eyes and very fresh thinking. We cannot solve our problems by making the same failed assumptions and repeating the same failed strategies of the past. Old challenges demand new approaches. My announcement today to relocate the American Embassy to Jerusalem and to recognize that that city, and so importantly, is Israel's capital. This act passed Congress by an overwhelming bipartisan majority and was reaffirmed by a unanimous vote of the Senate only 6 months ago. I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver. Today, I am delivering. I've judged this course of action to be in the best interests of the United States of America and the pursuit of peace between Israel and the Palestinians. Acknowledging this is a fact is a necessary condition for achieving peace. It was 70 years ago that the United States under President Truman recognized the state of Israel. Ever since then, Israel has made its capital in the city of Jerusalem, the capital the Jewish people established in ancient times. However, through all of these years, presidents representing the United States have declined to officially recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. In fact, we have declined to acknowledge any Israeli capital at all. But today we finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital.
In May of this year, the Trump administration will officially relocate the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and get this, it will be timed according to the 70th anniversary of the rebirth of the nation Israel, May 14th, 1948.
Consistent with the Jerusalem Embassy Act, I am also directing the State Department to begin preparation to move the American Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
I've been reading a lot on this, and it's very interesting that there was, and speculation abounds as to the reason why, when initially we were told that it would take a long time to do this, then all of a sudden, we're going to do it in May. And this week is March. So see, March, April, May. So now we're talking about weeks instead of years. What happened? Oh. Again, speculation abounds. I would suggest this. The reason is because Bible prophecy has an expiration date. What's the push? And especially, why are we so obsessed with this notion of a two-state solution?
The United States remains deeply committed to helping facilitate a peace agreement that is acceptable to both sides. The United States would support a two-state solution if agreed to by both sides. I intend to do everything in my power to help forge such an agreement.
That's Zechariah 12. The obsession of the entire world will be this burdensome boundary stone of Jerusalem, dividing Jerusalem, cutting up Jerusalem.
Without question, Jerusalem is one of the most sensitive issues in those talks.
United we stand, divided we fall. I wonder when in Zechariah 12 God declares that if you try to divide Jerusalem and push for a two-state solution, I will divide you. I have never seen this country that I love so much. I have never seen it as divided as it is today. Could it be, I ask, could it be, please hear me, could it be that the reason why America is so divided is because America has sought to divide Jerusalem? The land belongs to Israel, not to the so-called Palestinians. It belongs to Israel. God gave it to Israel, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Ishmael, not Esau. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jerusalem is the city that God himself has put his name of ownership on. And you want to divide it? You want to mess with it? You want to split it up? God declares, if you cut up Jerusalem, I will cut you up. What does all of this mean to us? Jesus said in answering the disciples' question about what will be the signs of your return and of the end of the age, and Jesus said in answering the disciples' question about what will be the signs of your return and of the end of the age, and Jesus says there's going to be famines and pestilence and wars and threats of wars. There's going to be earthquakes in different places, and he likens all of them to birth pains, which come in greater frequency and with greater intensity. According to this analysis in Arutz Sheva, it seems that war is going to break out at any time. Listen to this. The commander of IDF operations said in an interview on Monday that, quote, "We will probably witness a major war between Israel and the Iranian Axis this year." I cannot imagine a scenario where the nations today, chiefly Russia and Iran, would be as aligned as they are today 5 years from today. Things are moving too fast for that to stay that way. Things are in place right now, today, that cannot logically still be in place, say, years from today. It's that proverbial when the iron's hot strike. Things are moving so fast, even too fast. So if you don't do it now, you won't be able to do it.
I call on all parties to maintain the status quo at Jerusalem's holy site.
That's why everything is happening the way it is.
With today's action, I reaffirm my administration's longstanding commitment to a future of peace and security for the region.
The momentum is too fast. It's an unstoppable momentum that would lend itself to changing the entirety of the geopolitical landscape even 2-3 years from now.
I intend to do everything in my power to help forge such an agreement.
Just think about what's happened just in the last year. So much has happened so fast in just 1 year. And that's why I believe it is that all of a sudden now we're talking about May 14th of 2018, on the 70th anniversary of the rebirth of the nation of Israel, which, by the way, was the most significant prophecy concerning Israel as God's prophetic clock. To me, it sped up as of May 14th, 1948, when in the fulfillment of key Bible prophecy, especially in Ezekiel, when by one vote in the nation, the UN, Israel was reborn as a nation. Very interesting, because the prophecy was, can a nation be born in a day? Watch me now. And the dead bones are now alive again. And Israel is back in the land again. And the leaves on that fig tree, a symbol and national symbol for Israel, are returning. Here we are, 70 years later. And isn't it interesting that a move such as this would take place on that day? That's not all. The Jerusalem Post is also reporting that, according to Nikki Haley, Trump's Middle East peace plan is nearly ready.
Today, I too will focus on the issue of peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
She addressed this and a number of issues, among them the likelihood that the U.S. would push for a Palestinian state.
We remain committed to the possibility and potential of two states.
Haley announced that the Trump administration's first draft of a Middle East peace plan that won't be loved by either side is approaching its completion and will be presented in the near future. I wonder what near future means. How soon is near future? And why the sudden, if I can use that word, push? What's the hurry? Let's get the embassy. What's the hurry? Let's get this peace plan. What's the hurry? Oh, the hurry is things are moving so fast. You have to strike while the prophetic iron is hot.
Above all, our greatest hope is peace. I reaffirm my administration's long-standing commitment to a future of peace and security for the region. I intend to do everything in my power to help forge such an agreement.
And Jesus said that the generation that is alive, that witnesses the rebirth of the nation of Israel, the leaves returning to the fig tree, will be the generation that sees the coming of the Son of Man. We are that generation. The time is at hand. The Lord's return is closer than any of us can possibly imagine. His return for his church at the rapture of the church is at the door. My hope is not in this world, but in Jesus Christ, who will soon take us out of this world.